Hello, and
Hi,
welcome to Tuesday Talks with the Conways.
I'm Courtney.
And I'm Chris. We are glad to have you all this week here. Hi,
Hi,
Joy.
Joy.
You missed us last week, but we also missed all of Facebook last week, Joy.
Yeah, we're glad Facebook is back. We got it fixed. We are so sorry about that last week, guys. It was kind of not in our control or anyone else's. So,
Yeah, normally we have to, every 5 or 6 weeks, we have to reconnect the Healthiest Facebook page to the streaming app that we have. And normally it gives us a couple weeks of warning, but last week when we got on,
it didn't warn us at all.
no warning. We weren't able to reconnect it in time, but we were live last week with YouTube and Instagram. But this week we're back with all three platforms. So we're glad to have you all here. Glad to have you here, Joy and Naomi and Devin is here as usual with on our YouTube crowd, and then we've got a lot of people on Instagram. So we're glad to have you all here. We are pumped, not just about this topic, but we're just pumped in general.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about last week, New Year's kind of being a time to
Fresh
reset,
start.
fresh start. But we also mentioned you can have a fresh start every day. You can have a fresh start every week. You don't have to wait for the new year.
Mm-hmm.
But the new year is really a fun and good time, an
Yep.
appropriate time to do a refresh. And boy,
Hi, Shelly.
hello, Shelley. Boy, have we been on it. And this year is going to be a year of consistency for us.
Yes, that is my word for the year is consistency.
Consistency for the year of
Even when I don't
2026.
feel like it.
Yes, consistency, consistency. Because consistency is really important. Hello, Redina. Glad to have you here.
Hello.
And
Hi,
Linda.
Linda.
So at the same time. Yes, but consistency is really, really probably the biggest key, and that will kind of come into play tonight as we talk
Mhm.
about our topic. If you want to introduce the topic, and then I'll tell how consistency can kind of play into that topic for
Yes,
tonight.
tonight we're talking about sustainable habits over quick fixes because sometimes diet culture
Hmm.
kind of teaches us that there's quick fixes to any sort of like health issues, weight loss.
Hmm.
Like there's all these quick fixes,
Yeah,
like
very quick.
lose up to 20 pounds in a week, or, like those kind of things.
Those crazy
And
numbers.
yeah, when really up to, I mean, it could be 0.5 or it could be 20, who knows? But,
Right.
anyways, sustainable habits over quick fixes.
Yes. And somebody on Instagram mentioned focus is their word for
That's a
the
good
year.
one.
Very, very good, good word for the year. But when it comes to sustainable habits and long-term
Yes.
success, that is going to be where the consistency kicks in.
Hmm.
You can be consistent, and you can still have your minor fluctuations, but the consistency will help you long term. And so we want to set up these habits that are
Hmm.
sustainable, things that you can do for long term. But those quick fad diets, extreme starvation, those
Yeah.
that try to cut out all carbs and all sugars, are really difficult. And those just really, really,
Hmm.
um, it's really difficult to sustain. So it's not sustainable. And so doing those types of things is not good for the long term because, something will inevitably break.
Hmm.
So it's best to set those goals and those guidelines in a way that you can sustain it in the long term. This is a lifestyle change. I've had a recent visit with my doctor and had some blood work tests. I always am an advocate for getting some blood work tests to check on things,
Hmm.
make sure you're doing okay. And for her, she's like, don't diet, be healthy. And that's what we've talked about
Yeah.
multiple times, that it's not a diet, it's a lifestyle change. We do occasionally go, off track, but long term, this is the longest I've ever kept off weight in my
Hmm.
entire life.
Same.
Granted, we have plateaued a bit, but we've both lost about 100 pounds each, and we've kept it off,
Hmm.
which is a huge thing. So this is a life change. So control is Joy's word for the year. Is control. So to be consistent, you have to be in control. That is very good. And
Hmm.
Linda's word for the year is committed. Both of
That's
those
a
are
good one
really, really
too.
good. And Devin mentions tracking. Tracking, always tracking, is a really good
I've
way to
hmm
stay on track.
Yeah, since we started on Monday, we've been tracking every single day. I think he might have taken a break over the weekend.
Yeah, I didn't track over the weekend, but I knew what I
He
was
was eating the
eating.
same things as me, so if I was on track, he was on track.
Yeah,
But
pretty.
I have been tracking consistently
Mhm.
because I mean, sometimes you think you're eating enough
Or
or not eating over, and you
mhm,
are.
you are.
But what I was wanting to go with consistency and control and all those things, just something I wanted to mention, with like quick fixes and things. It was told to me the other day because I was doing a check-in with how my week went since being like 100% full force, like done with the holidays, all these things. And it was said to me, if you're miserable, it's not going to stick.
Mhm,
And that's true. And some of these quick fixes, they make people miserable. Like I hear people talking about some of the diets that they've done. I'm like, I couldn't do it.
mhm,
I couldn't, like, I do not want to be miserable. And I was not miserable this week. I was enjoying things. I had birthday cake multiple times. I had crumble cookie. I had pizza. I had Chipotle. Like, I had all the things and still lost 7 pounds. Now, you're not always going to lose 7 pounds, but I had gained some from the holidays. But what I'm saying is, if you're miserable, it's not going to work.
no, it's not gonna be consistent. For me, we do know that it is helpful to have a lower carb diet. But I love my breads and
I
pastas.
love it.
So if
I
I
love my sweets, which is the
cut them
worst.
all out, I would be very sad
Hmm.
and frustrated, and I would be more tempted to probably binge and go over it. So the key is moderation. So yes, and Linda is let's see,
Lydia.
Lydia, sorry, um, Lydia got to her goal weight for the first
Good
time, and she did it with the
job.
healthy
That's
program.
amazing.
That is super phenomenal. So very, very proud of you.
Yay.
But, as you know, and as we were just talking about, this is a lifestyle change. So just because you get close to your goal or you get to your goal doesn't mean you can kind of backtrack and undo all of the stuff that you worked for.
Mhm.
It's still going to be maybe not as difficult, but it's definitely still you're gonna have to be mindful at about staying on track so that you don't backtrack and lose
Mhm.
any of your progress. So we've still got a good little ways to go to get to our goal weight, but we have plans, you know, for life
Yeah.
because we don't want to go back to the way we were. We don't want to
Mm-mm.
reintroduce those bad habits. We don't want to teach those bad habits to our daughter, who's growing
No.
up and learning her relationship with food. But I also don't want to reintroduce any of those
Yeah.
those weight related health issues.
Yes. So some of the sustainable habits that we want to talk about, first of all, is balanced nutrition.
Mhm,
You want to make sure you're eating right. Now, that does not mean you cannot, balanced
mhm.
is key. Like I mentioned, I had cake this week, I had crumble, but I also had vegetables and I had proteins and I had all the things.
And healthy
So
activity.
yes, an activity, which is another thing we're going to talk about. But lean proteins, healthy fats, all the things in a balanced diet that you need. You need to make sure you have a balanced nutrition and that you're getting enough. Because some of these quick fix diets, you're not eating enough.
Mm. Nope, and your body's not getting the stuff that you need, so then your body's gonna start doing things, to try to survive because it thinks it's dying without enough food. I mean, that really, really kind of, just makes things go overboard. And the next, tip is mindful eating, and we know that
Mhm.
our really good friend Joy is a really big advocate for mindful eating. So, paying attention to those hunger cues, the fullness cues, eating kind of slow enough to where you can recognize in time that you're full before continuing to eat. We have the topic that kind of topic with my daughter tonight. She wanted some seconds, so she finished all of her foods, and I said, let that food settle, drink a little bit of water, and then after a few moments, if you're still hungry, then you can have some seconds.
Mhm.
So being mindful to those cues, slowing down, making sure that you really are legitimately hungry and there aren't any other reasons for you wanting to eat. So those things are really good for mindful eating. If you're
Mhm.
not hungry and you're scheduled to eat, maybe push that back a little bit. You don't have to eat.
Yeah.
Want to make sure that you keep an eye on those. And I found that very helpful because for me, I have we both really have issues with we do well during the day, but then the evening time closer to bedtime, it's harder to not eat. So I have
Mhm.
found myself throughout the day finding myself not as hungry. So I pushed that snack back 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I pushed that lunch back, a little bit longer too. So then when I get to dinner, I'm not starving.
Mhm.
And so then I have dinner, and then um, in the evening time, I have my snack that I've already planned, and I'm not
Yeah.
starving. So pushing back some of your meals when you're not hungry can help you and help us through those snacky, hungry, struggling periods in the evening time. Yes. Joy mentioned that she does love mindful eating, which I know because she's mentioned that to us multiple times. And she said her fiance asked her if she wanted ice cream tonight, and she said nope, I'm full, which is
Hmm.
really good. And that's really difficult because ice cream is a really fun
Yeah.
and delicious treat. But if you're not hungry,
Yeah.
save those calories for another day.
And
That ice cream will be there tomorrow.
yeah, and sometimes you have to decide what you can fit into your day and what you can't. Like we went to the trampoline park with our daughter the other day, and we get pizza for free there with our membership. And Chris and I were like, we can't really fit pizza into our day today. So Chris went next door to Chipotle and got us a decent sized bowl of it was just like chicken breast. But we could fit the chicken breast,
Hmm.
all that protein. It was like 40 something grams protein, but we couldn't fit the like 300 something calorie pizza because
Hmm.
it just
Didn't fit.
no.
And I love that these places and these restaurants and these grocery stores are really learning and leaning into the protein. At Chipotle, it's flat out. It's called a protein cup,
Hmm.
and it's just a cup full of their
And it
adobo
was good.
adobo chicken, and it was like $3
It was
for a
very
decent
good.
amount of chicken. And like she said, it's like 40 grams of protein. And it was delicious. And technically, honestly, I think I enjoyed that more than I would have the
I
pizza
did too.
because the pizza I
It's
wouldn't
gonna
have
be
that
hard not to go
satisfying.
next door next time.
Yes. So being mindful, but and then next is prioritizing sleep. Sleep is
Hmm.
so important.
Yes, it is so important. You need to aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep, not just sleep, but quality sleep,
Mhm.
because this supports your metabolism. It reduces cravings. You're more energetic, like all the things. If you don't get enough sleep, you're not going to feel like moving your body. You're not going to feel like, just doing what you're supposed to do. You're not going to feel like cooking, the healthy, nutritious meal that you need to cook. So sleep
Mhm.
really is
Is
good
the
for
key.
everything. Yeah.
Is the foundation.
Did
Mhm.
we do that one?
We have not.
Sorry. And the next is also regular movement. We have,
Mhm.
sorry, I just scratched him. We have multiple podcasts on movement alone.
Mhm.
Beginning movement, if you're a beginner, movement at all different levels. I mean, there are things you can do sitting in a chair, laying on a bed. Like I've seen people do like wall kicks or whatever it is. So many things you can do if you're not very mobile. So many things you can do. Walking, swimming, so many things. So just moving your body is a huge sustainable habit, and it needs to become a habit
Mhm.
because doing it once and not doing it again for 3 months and then doing it again, it kind of defeats the purpose.
Mhm. And one of the things that I learned recently is after my blood work test, I did find that my A1C and my insulin was a little high, and I'm kind of close to the pre-diabetes, which we kind of knew.
Yeah.
But we got confirmation of it. But one of the things that you can do to help your high levels of insulin, if you have insulin resistance, is they suggest going on a short walk after you have a meal, and
Mhm.
that helps your body to lower the insulin levels so that you don't have those spikes.
Mhm.
So that is really important. So movement, whether it's super active exercise like going to the gym or just going out for a walk.
Mhm. Yes. Another thing is staying hydrated is very, 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 very important.
Hmm.
We haven't done a topic on hydration in a while, so if that's something you guys want, just let us know. Talking about ways to get hydrated, how much water you should have, all the things. But hydration, as he drinks his water, is very, very, very important. I bloat like crazy if I don't get my water in.
Hmm.
It's crazy how much you bloat if you don't get water in. Some people think it's kind of counterintuitive, like the more I drink, the more I'm gonna weigh, but it's the opposite. The less you drink, the more you're gonna weigh.
Because your body retains that water.
Yes,
When you drink a
absolutely.
lot of water, your body is able to release it and process it, and then you don't hold on to it.
Mhm.
Joy mentions, she's sacrificing a little bit of sleep to join this podcast live, which we greatly appreciate it.
Mhm.
But hopefully, when we finish, she'll get some good
Yeah.
quality sleep so that she'll wake up
Mhm.
refreshed.
And then Linda mentioned that working out a lot tires her out. She sleeps so good after she works out. I do too. The days I work out, I sleep better
Mhm.
afterwards because I move my body more those days.
Absolutely. So staying hydrated, there's no quick number, like set number for how
Mhm.
much water you need to drink. There's also only so much water your body can
Yeah.
process in an hour anyway, so you don't really want to drink too much water. And the key that we found is that sorry,
Sorry.
when your urine is just slightly yellow, just a pale yellow, that means you're fairly
Mhm.
hydrated. So our daughter is getting FaceTime call
Yeah.
when she's in bed.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. But yes, and also just constant water. Just I don't drink a ton. Like I do actually drink a decent
Yeah,
amount of
you
it, but I
do.
spread it out throughout the
Mhm.
day, so it's not all at once. Because like I mentioned, I believe the research that I've done the last time we did a hydration topic was your body can only process about a liter of water an hour because the water you drink it goes through your
Mhm.
kidneys, goes through your blood system, or blood system first, and then through your kidneys, and then through your bladder. And so it has a cycle. It has to go through a
Mhm.
lot of paths before it comes out.
Yes. And when you move your body, you need more water.
Hmm.
And then obviously the heavier you are, the more water you need. So it really varies by person how much you need, but just make sure you're getting enough. Like he said, we sometimes just go off of the color of our urine. Like,
Hmm. Yep, and just constantly taking a sip. Um, uh, Joy mentions needing more when you work out. She tries to aim for 90 ounces. I don't really know if I measure mine per se, but I do know that I'm constantly drinking throughout the day. Um, what else? I lost my train of thought.
um, and the next is that.
Oh, Eileen mentions having to withdraw for 4 months of walking because of having some issues with her hips. But she's excited about getting started
Mhm.
again, which is really great.
Yes, that is very exciting. And the next topic is stress management and management. Managing your stress is huge. Some
Hmm.
people stress eat. Some people stress eat a lot. That's when most of my binges happen is when I'm stressed out.
Hmm.
So stress management, you can incorporate some relaxation techniques,
Hmm.
and just have hobbies, mindfulness, all those kind of things just to help with stressful eating.
And then stress can also affect your hormones, which does all kinds of things. And sometimes you're stressed and you don't even really realize it. So having those times of mindful meditation, those times of relaxation, things that you can do to help kind of get you back on track. We have the aura rings, and the aura rings actually do a pretty good job of they can tell
Mhm.
when you're stressed and when you're recovered. And so using tools like that, whether it's an aura ring or just having scheduled downtime, is going to be really really important to help monitor your stress,
Mhm.
so that your hormones are out of whack, and that you're also not going and doing a bunch of stress eating.
Yes, and then the biggest thing with habits, and it's what we started with, is consistency.
Hmm.
Any of these things, if you do them consistency, they will become a habit, whether you realize it or not. I think it's like it takes 21 days
Something
to
like that.
build a habit, something like that.
Hmm.
So if you do them consistently, it's going to become a habit, whether you realize it or not.
Hmm. Absolutely. And so we want to go in, and we talked about these long-term things, these things, great things, but we want to kind of go back and touch base on some of the quick fixes, the
That's
short-term results
probably not a good idea.
that don't really work well.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this a little bit before, but the restrictive diets.
Mhm.
Um, I got to lose X amount of weight really, really fast. Probably not helpful. I would rather lose 10 pounds over 2 months and keep it off and then keep the
Mhm.
progress than lose 10 pounds in 1 month and then stall
Yeah.
there or gain it right back.
Anytime I've ever been on a restrictive diet, I've gained it all back because what happens is I restrict myself and I do great for a week or two. Sometimes it's even longer,
Hmm.
but then I end up binging because I'm restricting myself.
Hmm.
Now, letting myself have the things I want in moderation, even if it's just a little bit here and there, I'm not as tempted to binge because I know I can go back and get that tomorrow if I really want it.
Absolutely. And rapid weight loss is not sustainable, but also just it's not healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to do things kind of at a slow and steady. Generally speaking, they say at most 2 pounds a week is kind of the most you would
Mhm.
want to potentially lose. You can lose a little bit more, especially like us when at the beginning. I started at 455 pounds, which is pretty substantial. I did lose more than 2 pounds a week in the beginning, just
Mhm.
because we had a lot to lose. But the the longer we've gone in this, it is a little harder
Mhm.
to keep that up. So generally, 2 pounds is probably the most you can do. I'm happy with a half a pound or 1 pound
Yeah.
per week sometimes.
Yeah. And usually, if you lose more than 2 or 3 pounds, a lot of times it's just bloat.
Hmm. They can't
So
be
don't,
bloat.
and you can't really expect to lose that. Like I mentioned earlier, I've lost 7 pounds this week, but I know most of that was bloat.
Hmm.
So I'm definitely not expecting that next week. So definitely rapid weight loss, it usually does not stick, and it usually comes from something like a restrictive diet.
Hmm. And then those types of things don't give you long enough to build habits. Um, So we're looking at building better habits long term because we want
Mhm.
this to stick. We want to get to our goal weight, but we also want to stay there and stay healthy. But we also want to do it while also enjoying what we eat, which is why we incorporate a lot of the stuff that we want in
Mhm.
what we need.
Yes, because somebody mentioned on Facebook earlier that it's also about keeping off what you've lost.
Oh
Like you
yes.
can't just get to goal and then just forget all the habits that you've learned and just go right back.
hmm
So creating these habits helps not just lose weight, but also maintaining it as well.
Absolutely. So the huge things. So why habits win is it addresses the root cause. It kind of undoes the thinking, the mentality. We grew up not really understanding how food impacts our health and how food impacts
Mhm.
our weight, and not understanding portion sizes. Um, and it was really hard to undo that. So building these better habits are helping us build that
Mhm.
relationship with a better relationship with food and help us understanding, okay, I can have this, but I might be up tomorrow because it has a lot of sodium, so I'm
Mhm.
going to be retaining water weight. So just understanding your relationship with food and how it will affect you. Yes, we want to go out and treat ourselves for a special occasion, but it might cause us to get off track a little
Mhm.
bit. But having that in mind will help. And then having these resets, whether it's a reset at the beginning of the year, reset at the beginning of the month, or reset at the beginning of the week, or however, those
Mhm.
resets will help you kind of get back, on track. Like this is the biggest reset we've done in a long time,
Yeah.
and we're sticking with it.
Yep. And I mean, sometimes you do just need a break, but making sure you get back on it and you have that reset is a big deal.
hmm Absolutely.
And then another thing, why habits win, it prevents deprivation because we've talked about that. Like it's if you're depriving yourself, it's never going to stick. Whether you feel like it's going to stick, whether you've gone, 5 months and you're like, this is great. Depriving yourself is never going to stick. You're
hmm
always going to end up giving in.
And on the off chance it does stick, you're gonna be unhappy
Yeah.
and and,
Like
and
I said
grumpy.
earlier, you cannot being miserable is not the way to be. Like I am not miserable at all losing weight. I have found something that works. I love healthy because it works. I'm not miserable. I get to eat what I want. And I mean, I'm seeing results.
hmm Absolutely. So, just make sure that you stay on track and you build these better habits, and that habits are better for you long term.
Mhm. And then also at the end of the day, it's going to build your confidence.
Oh yeah.
When you have small successes, even if they're just small, they're going to build momentum and your self-confidence is going to grow and it's going to make you feel like you can keep doing it.
hmm Absolutely. So keep moving,
Mhm.
keep looking at those wins, keep doing the resets, keep building those better habits for the long term. We're in it for the long haul. We're in it with you all for the long haul, and
Mhm.
you're in it with us.
Yes, and one more thing, just remember that sometimes the habits are harder to like start. So just remember, you got to give yourself some time for it to really become a habit.
Mhm.
Sometimes you have to force yourself, but if you give it some time, it will become a habit.
Absolutely. All right, so now on to our recipe. I know Facebook wasn't with us last week, but we were talking about this sweet treat that
Mhm.
we really enjoyed, and so it is.
I just threw it together the other day, and like he loved it, Kathleen loved it. They're asking for
It was
more.
so
Like it's
easy,
so good.
delicious, and very helpful, healthy. So we're excited to share this with you. So enjoy it. Caroline, you can watch the video later. Um, so the videos are on YouTube.
Hmm.
So happy that you're joining us in
Yes.
towards the end, but the videos live on YouTube. So if you're watching, I know you're watching us on Facebook now. Facebook only keeps
Yeah.
videos so
But after
often.
we end, you can watch the replay on Facebook if you watch it right after we end.
Yes. So Facebook keeps the videos for a couple weeks. So you will be able to, after the video ends, kind of rewind and catch the
Mhm.
beginning. But all the videos live permanently, or however long, permanently, as long as YouTube lives. Our videos are also there, good, so you can go back months and months, however long we have them on there. But yes, thank you for joining us. Even we're happy to have you here
Yes.
even towards the end. But let's share this recipe real quick. And
Yes. So we were talking about this recipe and
let's.
we had multiple people ask if we could share it. So we decided to make it the recipe this week. It's protein ice cream. So you need a vanilla protein shake. We use the Members Mark. That's basically a Fairlife dupe. It's pretty much the same thing. You can use Fairlife, you can use Premier Protein, whatever kind of protein shake you want. But we like the Members Mark because it tastes just like vanilla milk. Like it tastes like milk or like a milkshake. It's
Mhm.
so good. 8 ounces, which is one of the smaller containers of sugar-free whipped topping. and then a package of white chocolate instant pudding mix, the sugar-free kind. Make
Yes.
sure it's sugar-free. Um, and then in a freezer-safe container, mix the package of pudding mix with the bottle of protein shake and mix. You're gonna have to mix a little bit. It's gonna get a little thick. Just make sure like all the clumps are gone. Once that's combined, add in the whole container of whipped topping and then mix until spoon.
Smooth.
Spoon. Mix until smooth. Then put that in the freezer for at least 6 hours. And then enjoy. We put servings as 4, but honestly, we would probably split this and be fine.
Yeah, I think when we had this, we split it with the three of us.
Yeah.
So her, myself, and then Kathleen, we all split it in
Uh-huh.
thirds.
Yes, but I mean, even if you did 2 servings, it would still only be like 206 calories for a decent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a decent amount of ice cream. It has
Mhm.
4 servings. It's between 2 and 3 bites,
And
depending
you
on
can
which
use
plane you want.
any flavor of pudding mix you want. We
Yep.
used cheesecake the other day too, and it was
It was good.
delicious.
I liked the white chocolate one better, but the cheesecake one was still good.
Yes, yes, it was still very good.
And then it's got 103 calories, 12.8 net carbs, but 7.6 grams of protein. And if you split this in two, that would be almost 15 grams of
Yeah.
protein in ice cream.
Yeah.
Is delicious.
And you don't need a creamy or anything for this.
Nope.
We did put in our creamy the second time we made it, and we're gonna need to do some tweaking because it
Mm.
was very, very, very thin.
Yeah, we didn't need a special creamy or ice
No.
cream. We did kind of nuke it in the microwave for just a few moments and then stir it up real good, and it still had a really good, nice, creamy consistency. So I think what really helped was the sugar-free whipped
Yeah.
topping kind of really helped make it extra creamy.
And this is also, can't remember if we said the bites. It's between 2 and 3 bites depending on which plane you're on.
Yep, absolutely. So very delicious.
12.8 net carbs.
Yep. Say that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. It never hurts to repeat those. So as usual, this recipe will be shared on Healthy's Facebook page and their Instagram. But also, if you go to their blog on their website, healthyapp.com, you'll also be able to see all of our recipes. Also, there's a bunch of recipes on there from other healthy coaches that you can take a look at. Having healthy recipes is really going to be very helpful in helping you be successful in having tasty, delicious meals that fuel your path to being healthy and help you stay on track.
Yes.
So, thank you so much for joining us with this Tuesday talk with the Conways.
I'm Courtney.
I'm Chris. Yep. So we will see you all next week, and I hope you have a wonderful night.
Bye.
Bye.